We got to get Jesse Joyce in here.
Ooh, yeah. What's he got cooking?
We're going to find out. Jesse Joyce entering the studio.
Pull up a chair.
What's up, brother?
Take a seat.
How you been, man?
I'm good, man. How's things?
That looks like the backdrop of Caroline's.
It is. It's adorable. Yeah, I got it from home. It's nice.
A coffee cup.
Thanks.
We're watching like some Stone Temple Pilots with the Linkin Park guy.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, he joined Stone Temple Pilots.
STP. You know what though?
For a show, but now we're finding out that he also recorded a new song with the guys.
Is it the screaming guy or the rapping guy from Linkin Park?
I think it's Screamy Guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
Screamy
Yeah,
guy.
right.
Chester.
Screamy Guy.
Chester
more than one singer?
Bennington, I think, right? Is
Yeah,
that
they
his
have
name?
Rappy Guy and Screamy Guy.
Yeah. I've been to a lot of strip clubs. I'm familiar with their music. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do they play them a lot in strip clubs?
Oh, yeah.
I figured.
Yeah, it's like that and Kid Rock, you know. It's pretty much
Yeah.
strip club staples.
Nowadays, used to be like fucking, Motley Crue was huge.
Yeah.
Huge in the clubs. All the 80s. Fucking 80s, man. And the dance, I just loved. I never understood their criteria for rejecting a song.
Right.
Like, it's like Dr. Feelgood, and they're dancing around to it, and then fucking, it comes on, and then some other metal song comes on. Hey, could you reject this one? They cover their tits up for that 5 seconds that they're being human.
Yeah.
Could you reject this one, Bobby? Bobby, eject it, thank you.
You've been to some unprofessional strip clubs, my friend.
Oh, it's
They
Long
usually-
Island, dude.
Right.
Long Island.
Long Island.
Clubs. Why do they have to cover up, though?
I don't know. They would like cover up and be like,
Yeah, we.
and then they put, another song on and just
Right.
shove a beer bottle.
Probably
in,
means
so.
she was hit to that one. The crank addict she's dating probably belted her to that song. Turn off, kickstart my heart. She was twitching.
I dated a stripper once, like a long time ago, and it's interesting how dull.
How'd that work out for you?
Yeah, fine, whatever. I was a drunk at the time. So,
All right.
You fucker.
Where the shit comes out?
It's amazing how quickly strip club bitching on the when you have to talk about the mechanics of the job, how like dumb office politics it becomes. It's just like Cinnamon took my song. Like that's literally like a conversation I had to have once.
Yeah. And then they're always bitching about the owner of the venue and how fucking, shitty they're treated.
Right.
How they didn't get the fucking prized, Friday night fucking spot. And they had to dance
they're real
Tuesday
catty and competitive about the
really?
slots and whatever.
Never thought that when I was just tossing back fucking $12 Budweisers.
Did you ever go to one?
Sorry ass.
Did you guys ever go to a strip club in Western Canada? They do an interesting thing because they have coinage. They don't have like the dollar. Like the smallest bill is a $5.
Yeah.
You're not gonna fucking give a stripper a $5. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's the $1 and $2 coins. Yeah. And so what happens is like you end up like what they do is they come out and they put a magnet on their twat, right? And you go like fling like a pirate. You're just flicking coins
Get outta here.
out of snatch. And if
Come
you
on.
get one to stick, you get to keep the magnet. That's like the little.
My
Who wants the
God.
magnet? There's a fucking stink box on the back.
Well, I think that's part of the appeal of it. Like that's why dudes like to get it rubbed on their head and whatever
funny.
in the
I
front.
don't want the magnet,
whatever.
though.
Yeah. At the condo at the comedy club, it's filled with those magnets. And like, do you know how hard like you could be there all night and not successfully get it to stick on the magnet? You know.
Yeah.
So, like, the number of man-hours that are invested in filling a refrigerator with those twat magnets, like, that is an impressive amount of time the
What kind of
comedians have spent
magnet is
there.
it, though?
It's like got her shitty pic. It's like one of those ones you get at, like, a car dealership or whatever. Just like a square or, like, a little... And it's got her picture on the front and then the magnets on the back. But then the awkward thing is at the end, they have to collect the money, So they pull out like a little metal detector thing and they just go like walking around the stage nude like a grandfather, just click, 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 click. It like really takes you out of it. Like it's not sexy at all.
Yeah.
It's pretty entertaining.
Oh, man. Yeah, there were plenty of things that just took you out of it for the moment. When they'd get into like yelling matches with the bartender. It's like, just fucking dance.
Yeah.
Oh, when they were just fucking shaking down some poor old sap at the corner of the bar.
Right.
Like, just crawl over to, and you see them just keep coming back, and then the other dancers notice they smell the blood in the water.
Right.
There's just a stripper feeding frenzy. This poor guy is just doling out his fucking Social Security check.
Oh yeah, I've been to a lot in my day, and I pretty much know the etiquette, and I know the whole gag is they're supposed to pretend to like you, and that's what's
Right.
awesome about it, right? But
Right.
I totally, when I was like 25, it was like I actually had a lot of money at that moment in my life because I was writing for a thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I've never been so like hosed by a stripper in my life. Like it was amazing because I even knew the deal. But she, like, played me perfectly, because, like, my attitude, especially as, like, a 25-year-old and I'm a comedian or whatever, like, I'd go in a strip club and go, like, I'm not like the rest of these serial killers,
right.
You know? And so
and that alone puts you in a vulnerable position.
Yeah, because she came up to me.
You're better than them, so
exactly.
if she treats you like you are better than them, and you're like, look, I'm
See, I knew I was better
all
than
these
them.
Assholes think
She really likes me.
But she really does like
me. She totally came right up to me, and she was like, you're not like the rest of these serial killers. And I was like, I know, I'm not.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? She spent the whole time hanging out with me, and, like... And it was like, when it happened, when I realized I got taken, it was like the end of Usual Suspects. You know what I mean? Like, I dropped my Jack and Coke and slowly replayed the whole evening where I gave her $700.
She
gave you $700?
I gave her $700 over the course of the night. But, like, yeah, and so, but it was so fat how she played it, because it was like she wanted to go out. She's like, you know, let's hang out afterwards. And I was like, yeah, let's totally hang out.
Look at this. I'm fucking going to be dating
right
a
at the
stripper.
moment where, like, I was about to get her number, coincidentally, every time the song would end, like, she had this, like, brilliant mathematical timing where she knew how long every song was that she danced to. And so it was like right then the song, and she would go like, listen, I'll get your number in a little bit. Like, we'll totally do it, but I got to go out and make some more money. And I was like, no, you're staying here with me. And then she'd change the subject. And then, like,
Holy fuck,
it was
good.
brilliant. And then at the end of the night, she's like, do me a favor and go out. She was like, I need your number so we can hang out. And I was like, great. And I don't have a pen. She's like, go out to the bar. So I'm like, okay. So I go out to the bar, and then they, like, close the strip, like all the lights come up. You know what I mean? And so now I go to the bartender, and I'm like, do you have a pen? Because this stripper wants my number, you know what I mean, or whatever. It was just,
no, he's probably like,
yeah. And he's like, here you go, buddy, right? And so I, like, write down, like, all of my contact info, and then I go
email.
over. Yeah. My social security number, you know. And I go back over, and now there's, like, a bouncer there, and I'm like, oh, well, can I get back
this to?
And then here's the worst part. She told me her real name, you know what I mean? Because, like, that's code for, like, you're in, you know what I mean? They don't they reveal what their real name is. And she said it was like Jennifer or something, you know. So I was like, hey, I know that. I bet you hear this a lot. Like, as it's coming out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, I'm fucking
you asshole,
such a douche.
right? Yeah.
And I'm like, I know you've heard this all the time, but, like, really, she asked for my. No, can you just make sure that Jennifer gets this? And he goes, which one is Jennifer? Like, she gave me a fake real name, and I was like, oh, she's fucking brilliant. You have to just kind of slow clap it because it was really impressive.
How embarrassing.
Yeah. So $700.
Yeah, $700. Yeah.
Did she call you?
No, I didn't. I never even got her. The bartender, the fucking bouncer did.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, man? You just gave me your number.
Yeah, thanks for giving me both of your email addresses also. Just
Where
in
was
case.
this?
In the Poconos. It's the worst.
Did you go back the next night?
No, because, like, I don't regret, like, God bless her. She totally earned that $700. Yeah. And that was when I was like 25. Like, I could have used that.
Sometimes the money is worth you're hanging out, and you're almost having this stripper girlfriend experience for the night. Mm-hmm. She's with you,
right?
You know, at the bar, you're chatting it up, you're fucking drinking, you're able to put your hand on her leg and shit and treat her like that, and then, you know, you're paying her money, and then you just leave. It's like a prude prostitute.
If you come at the end, it's worth it.
Well, you're not going to come at the end. You're coming at the end at home.
Yeah,
by yourself.
Jack
I
off.
mean, you're so down you're so down the fucking pervert rabbit hole. I don't know. Like, have you ever, you ever just gotten a lap dance?
Oh,
like,
yeah. I remember I've come in my pants twice during lap dances.
Okay.
Tee-hee. They're wonderful experiences. To blow a load in your pants is fucking fantastic.
From an etiquette standpoint, that you're not supposed to do that.
I know you're not, but I wore silk boxers. And
like,
I
you
fucking
did it in advance?
Of course I did. And she was rocking that ass crack on my dick rhythmically, like she was jerking me off. Ooh. And this was in New Orleans, and she's trying to get me to go into the back room for more money. And, like, I knew the champagne room's a bust. Mm-hmm. And I had given her, like, 3 or 4 lap dances. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go. What will happen back there? I'm just trying to keep that ass cheeks. And all of a sudden, fuck. Right in my fucking pants. And I was working with Pete Corielli and Louis Ramey. And I walked outside. They're like, how was it? I'm like, look at this. And I showed them the fucking load.
Big shit stain on your...
Gigantic.
Holy shit.
They were disgusted.
Well, they should be.
Yeah. It was really wonderful.
Right. Mm.
I got thrown out of a tranny strip club once. I walked in New Orleans just to see what it was like. It was on that same trip. And I'm like, I just walked right in, and the girl wanted, this big brute chick wanted to give me a lap dance. And I'm like, no, I don't want one. She goes, oh, okay, honey. And she took my arm and walked me right back out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was funny. I kicked me out.
I went to one in South Dakota once where it's just like a bar, but it says it's a strip club. It's like the only place in town, you know. And I go in, and this lady, just a lady, comes up to me in like a flannel shirt. She's like, "You want a lap dance?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. Whenever one of the strippers comes around, yeah. If you want to, if you'd like to inform one of them that I'm here, yeah, that's fine." And she was like, "No, like that's me." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "It's $5." And so I was like, all right, well, that's worth it for the $5, like, just to see what happens. She pulls out a fucking boombox. Like, there's she just hits play on the tape deck on a boombox.
Oh, my God.
And then just takes off her flannel shirt. Like, not even like trying to, just like removing her shirt like she's getting a mammogram. Like, that's the experience is pretty amazing.
Was it all right, though? What did it look like under the flannel?
It was like, it's all come full circle now. I literally gave her that $5 because I was like, someday I'm going to be able to tell that story somewhere. So now that's the whole reason that I did it.
Yeah, that's where the strip club,
story.
The going to strip clubs all panned out in the end because, come on the radio and you just, I got a bunch of them.
There's an amazing one. Last time I was here was right before I went to Anchorage, and there's a great strip club.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I did the worst thing I've ever done on a stage in Anchorage, and I feel like a piece of shit for this. But
turn the mic on.
I totally walked in. That's great. Thank you for doing that. That's amazing. Yay, Jimmy.
I knew something was brewing.
I know. I was like, I thought, Anyway, so last time, one of the times I was there, I told you guys I went to this like crazy old guy is this wolf farm, and
right.
He rescues wolves or whatever.
Yes.
So I'm friends with the radio guy who's there in town, and he and I had plans to go to that thing, and at the last minute he bails on me. This is like 6 years ago, and he goes, but my son's gonna come with you, who's like 19, you know, and I was like, well, I don't need company. I wanted to hang out with him.
Oh, man.
So it's like, fuck. So like now I gotta like babysit
That's
this
intrusive
19-year-old, you know, and he was fine, but he was like a really awkward, you know, like kind of like maybe what Roland was like in high school. You know what I mean? Just this like, you know, like, hey, how's it going? You know, like this quiet dude or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, you shouldn't have to deal with that.
His fingers always smelled like Similac for some reason. Roland.
So anyway, we got to deal with the fact that I said what Roland was like in high school?
No.
That's all
no,
right.
I'm like, I don't know. Why would you have to deal with that? Like.
Oh, yeah.
How
Roland knows what he was like in high school.
Oh, yeah, yes, yeah.
So anyway, so he's like, he's just like quiet and whatever, and I'm just like dragging out, like, how's school going, buddy? You know what I mean? It's like an hour and a half trip, and I buy him lunch, whatever. So that's 6 years ago. I forgot all about this dude. Fucking, just recently, when I was up there, like 2 months ago, this dude comes up to me. He's like 20, whatever, 5, 6. This guy, he's like a pretty normal, and he's like, hey, I just want to tell you, I'm the kid that you took to, I just want to say thanks for being cool to me when I was like a weird, awkward kid. And I was
wow.
Oh, hey, that's cool. And he's like excited to tell me he's like a grown up now. You know what I mean? He's like, I graduated from college.
He's a grown up.
Whatever. Like the show's about to start. So it's kind of getting loud. And so we're talking, and he goes, yeah, things are going great. I got a job now. And he's like, and I got engaged. That's her right over there. And he points to her.
Oh, no.
And he goes, and that's her dad. And he points to her dad. He's like, he just came into town today. And I was like, oh, thanks for bringing him to the show. It's really cool. And then the show starts, so like I got to go. Anyway, I'm on stage, and I just got divorced this past year, so I have like a chunk about being divorced, you know? And I want to have like a married couple in the front to kind of pull out, you know, like I just fuck with them, with the married couple.
Right.
But it's a new joke because I got divorced recently, so I've never experienced there not being a married couple. So there's just nobody. So I'm like, fuck, what do I... And I mean, I could do the joke, but I'd rather have somebody to play off of. So I go, well, kid in the back, Jimmy, you just got engaged, right? To him, silence. Like, I don't hear anything at all. And I can see him, right? And I'm like, come on, don't leave me hanging, right? Like, and it's just weird. So I just move on with the joke. Afterwards, he comes up to me and he goes, I haven't asked her yet. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I told you I was getting engaged. I thought he said that he got engaged. So I fucking blew up the proposal in front of her. And wait, it's worse. The dad, remember how he said the dad came into town? He flew the dad in to ask his permission. So in front of the fucking future father-in-law, I just fucking outed. I'm like, come on, you just told me minutes ago you got engaged. It's the fucking worst thing.
Fucked that up.
Oh, dude, I've never felt like more of a piece of shit.
Was he mad at you, or did he understand?
No, he was like shell-shocked. Like he didn't know what to do next.
It's like, dude, what?
He was like, what? Yeah, what do we do? Like, that's kind of, so then I'm like in damage control mode. Like, how do we fix this? Like, I don't know what to do.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oops.
That's a oops.
Wow, I flew the dad in to ask his permission.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, from like far away, from like Florida or something to Alaska.
Well, to your defense, why the fuck would you tell the guy that's going up on stage without saying, don't say anything either? It's a secret.
I guess, but still, it's unacceptable that I did that.
Well,
like,
yeah.
If you say to a person, like, because he thought it was pretty clear, I'm getting engaged. But it was loud, and I heard I got engaged, and then he points to him. So
yeah, you were half listening because he was an annoying audience member. You're
exactly.
Like, right.
Yeah, right.
How long were you in Alaska? Just
a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
It's a crazy place.
Yeah. There's the great strip. The reason I brought it up, there's an amazing strip club there called the Alaskan Bush Company, and one of those strippers, it was like an MSNBC documentary. She like murdered a couple dudes.
Whoa.
Or she got them to murder each other. She was like this Black Widow chick.
Wow,
she's pretty hot. Her name's Michelle
talented.
Lanahan. Look
Does
her
she
up.
still dance?
No, she's in jail now. Like,
Why?
She got away for like 10 years. She just escaped. Like, she got these guys to kill each other for the insurance money on her behalf. She took the insurance money and like bailed.
To Alaska.
And then like became a no. That was in Alaska. She bailed to like New Orleans or something.
To Alaska.
Genius.
Yeah,
to hide.
and then she ended up like being like a soccer mom when they caught her. Like she had like 2 kids and whatever. So yeah,
What's
it's
her
pretty
name?
fascinating.
Michelle what?
Lanahan.
We should look her up, Sam. I want to see what this girl
I
looks
kind of
like.
remember this story.
And women can get you to do
Just
anything.
do a Michelle stripper. Yeah, there you go.
She had a
There it
normal
is.
life going, and they caught up to her.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's a pretty face.
Wow.
Yeah, well, she was hotter too when she was
Sure.
back in the stripper days.
I would gather.
Oh, yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, you remember that story?
Yeah, of course I
Oh,
did.
there's that picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much time is she doing?
A lot.
Oh, yeah.
How'd she get them to do it?
I don't really remember exactly the details, but they're sad Alaskans,
Yeah,
and she
and you
fell
get
in
this
love with
hot
them.
girl.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
They could make her
sure
make
that
them
they
do
can get her.
anything, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
What an awful person.
yeah.
That's
Awful person.
that story when you're talking about the 19-year-old and then you grew up and he's like a man. I was thinking how awful that's got to be for like a child molester that goes after young boys.
Oh,
like,
that when they
there's your
grow
young
up?
boy, and then it's like then there's that man and you fucked him,
Ugh.
and you just
Yeah, you remember me?
You gotta like, oh no,
Right,
he's gonna
right.
kick my ass now.
Yeah, and tell everybody what I did.
So are you in a way saying like, hey, it's a good thing you didn't fuck that guy?
Yeah. It's a good thing you didn't fuck him on that trip.
Good thing you didn't make him jerk you off while you were looking at wolves. Imagine if he had masturbated you into the wolf feed.
That would have been amazing. Dogs certainly seem to like ejaculate, so I imagine that translates to their cousins.
Fuckers will eat anything.
Where are you going to be, Jesse?
I'm at the Comedy Club of Jacksonville this weekend.
We
and
just
then
came back from
No,
Jacksonville.
but I didn't do that. I did the Zone.
Yeah, you
comedy
Oh,
club.
okay, yeah. And then I'm doing the Carolina Comedy Club in Myrtle Beach the week after.
Nice,
So-
very good.
And those are 2 totally non-offensive names for comedy clubs. They're just the Comedy Club of whatever.
At
It's
least
kinda-
they're not trying,
yeah.
which is good and bad.
Well, I don't know if
Some
you
of
guys
these
know. I
club
used
names
to.
are rough.
Oh yeah. I used to tour with Geraldo. I don't know if you knew that. Like for a long time.
Of course we do.
And so the go-to club name that we would always just like, hey, where are we working this week? He would just go, Shit Stains was the name of the club, right? We'd just go like, we're working at Shit Stains Thursday through Saturday or whatever. And so we had the same manager. I had this great story that some college chick who ran some newspaper, like some bullshit college, she was like fact-checking an interview she'd just done with Greg. She calls the manager all flustered, like 2 hours after the interview, going like, hey, can you find, I've been looking everywhere. Can you give me an address for Shit Stains? Like, I've been Googling it for 2 hours. Like, can you imagine what the fuck she was actually Googling? You know what I mean? For the last 2 hours.
Exactly.
You know, just put her on the internet and have her find Shit Stains.
Pictures of this radio show coming up. Why did this Google Geraldo? You should have Googled him.
It's pretty
His
great.
club would have come up. Stupid bitch.
And
Stupid
I
bitch.
hate her.
the winner in the Powerball still hasn't come forward, huh?
That's an amazing story right
I'm just
there.
looking at the tape.
One
Florida?
fucking ticket, huh?
One ticket in Florida. What part of Florida had it?
By Jacksonville, actually. No, by Tampa. I'm sorry. By
Zephyrillus.
Zephyrillus, yeah.
Where's that? Outside Tampa,
Yeah.
obviously. Okay.
I think like a small 30,000 people live there. Some small
Yeah.
place where 3,000 people.
You know, it would have went up to a billion if no one won. Could you imagine?
Do you know how you'll know if I ever win? If I ever walk into work with my dick out, you'll know I've won the Powerball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just my cock out.
Something tells me that other things could.
Then you
make
realize
do
I have
that.
the wrong number.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like the only circumstance under which Jim would walk in with his dick out.
billion.
Yeah,
it would have been. It would have went up there. We're estimating it would have been over $1 billion.
Now, if like, did that person pick those numbers, or was it one of those instant tickets?
Usually say quick pick is the best way to go.
Because I'm thinking
you got to pick your numbers, obviously, because it'll drive you nuts if they do come in.
Yeah.
But they say most of the time it's a quick pick.
Now, because the numbers didn't show up at the place where I would have bought it,
Right.
in New York.
Right.
Does that mean that even if I played, there's no chance in hell I would have won? Like, did the guy that came in, like, right after I would have come in, did he get my numbers?
Oh, good point.
Yeah, like, is the random fucking randomness of the numbers changing every split second?
It's got to be random.
So that,
totally.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So, like, it's not like that store was destined to have the random numbers. Is that what you're implying?
Yeah, or does it mean because the store I would have bought the tickets in didn't have the winning ticket that I never would have been able to win, even if I had
meaning
bought
you would
the
have had to
tickets?
been in the Florida area to get the ticket.
Right.
No, okay.
At that store, at the very store that sold it.
Or could you have had the numbers?
Or could I have had the numbers here if I did play? Because would the random numbers come up?
Even more importantly, how cool would it be to get a hold of the person that was like a split second from having the actual numbers, but they were like, this close. And then you go up.
How do you live with that?
Well, it would be great to call them out.
Hey, asshole.
And tell them how close they really were.
Check the paper tomorrow. Whoever committed suicide in fucking Zephyrsville or whatever it is, them.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I wondered.
Do you have to be in that actual store, or that number would have came up anywhere, but it just happened to come up at that?
Yeah, it makes
moment.
me feel better that I didn't play because no one won from the store.
Does anyone know how that works out?
It's a very complicated algorithm.
Dude, we will get 20 different answers. No, dude, my uncle built the machines, and it's totally random with every second. Like, so if you come in 2 seconds later, it's totally different numbers than the guy that would have come in after you. Yeah. All right? That guy's full of shit. The last caller, see, because the numbers. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
wouldn't it be completely random, though, since there's always like, 6 people had this number all across the country? Like you always get those.
It is completely random, but I'm just saying, like, all right, if me and some other dude were in line, right? We're both going to get 5 quick picks, and then we switch places in line. Now I got his numbers and he got my numbers, or is it like if I wait and go, all right, I'm going to wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, I waited 5 seconds. Now give me my numbers. Are they completely different numbers because I waited 5 seconds, regardless of,
They have to be.
Yeah, I think so.
You think they're constantly going, woo, numbers, numbers, here they are.
I think so.
Like when they, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I want to know how many tickets this guy bought and how long he's been playing. Like, does it work when people buy $300 worth every week, or is it just the guy who walks in and just says, fuck
He's bought 700 million in tickets.
Yeah.
I didn't really read the article, but wasn't there a story about some dude who won it twice just the other day?
Yeah, that's happened a couple times. Not with something this big, but
right.
Yeah.
Was it random numbers he won with, though?
I guess so. Yeah.
My grandma had like a crazy lottery habit, and like it was at least like 150 a week, I think, is what she was dropping. Like never. And if she did, it was like $2,000 or something, you know what I mean? So it was like totally not worth it. So my dad somehow was able to convince her to like just literally throw it into a coffee can, and then once every 2 months she would win the lottery. Like he would draw numbers, and she would win all her money back. And she's like a little immigrant lady, and so she was like didn't quite understand the math of it, you know. And she was just thrilled every time that she would win the lottery, like every 2 months. It really worked. It was amazing. It's pretty great.
That is good.
What a buffoon.
Oh, really? What a dolt.
I don't know the answer. I'm trying to get your answer.
Oh, you'll never get the answer to that one.
Yeah, that one's, I don't know.
That's a lot of fucking money. 600, about 600 million. One fucking winner.
Well, that ends up being like 300 million.
It's like, they take...
it's amazing that they got
their cut. 370.
370 after taxes.
What's the lump sum, though?
Well, what about
the lump sum? 370.
Oh, you can get 370 right away.
But if you get it over 20 years, what can you get it at?
No, well...
It's over 30 years, I believe.
And then they'll tax every dollar you make on that if you
got to be a nut to fucking take the 20-year
You
thing.
wouldn't?
No, not for something that big.
If you get 370 tomorrow, who gives a fuck?
370 million.
After federal taxes, there's no state tax in Florida.
What's the...
They get 278.
Wow.
I wonder what the most, if there's probably a story about what the most amount of money somebody's ever blown is. Like the most famous disparaging, like, because you're kind of basically saying that $370 million you're set up for life.
Yeah, you're pretty much.
But I bet you there's a guy who's blown $370 million. You know what I mean?
Kurt Schilling went through a lot of money. How much money did he fucking burn through?
I don't know how much he went through, but every time the lottery gets like this big, there's those stories online of the top 10, idiots that have
rags
won the lottery.
to riches to rags.
Right.
Wow, it dopes.
Yeah, there was some lady in Toronto.
75 million? No, more than that, right?
75.
He sued for over 75 million from one company. So he blew through a lot of fucking money.
Wait, he sued through?
He's being sued for 75 million. His dumb video game company that he made after
Schilling.
baseball. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He is broke.
Yeah,
huh?
Schilling took all his money and loans and fucking borrowed from everybody to pump it into this fucking video game that was kind of like World of Warcraft and EverQuest and stuff. One of these.
It wasn't even baseball related?
No. He was a crazy EverQuest fan, and he thought, well, people sign up for this, and it's a subscriber-based fucking game. I'm going to put one out. So it's one of these, dungeons and fucking swords and shit like that. It just never got off the ground.
Was it good?
I saw some clips of it, and it just looked like a bad version of World of Warcraft.
Hey, but that article says this thing cost him $50 million.
Well, it says
Of his own.
later on. It says that
Because my point, really fast, he made more than that, so he would still have millions left.
it says that the company owed more than $150 million,
Right.
and had less than $22 million in assets.
Oh, he chalked up a lot of debt.
But what
It's
was his?
$128 million in the red.
But what was his personal loss? That whole nut, or
Everything.
just part of it?
I don't know. I don't think he had a lot of big investors.
I'm guessing if he put $50 million of his own money in, and they only have $22 million in assets, and they have 100 and something in debt, he's lost all his money.
Well, he lost his 50.
Yeah.
But my point is, he made more than 50, so he still has millions.
How much did he
I
make?
would guess. Yeah.
How much did he get for the sock that he sold?
Yeah,
Not
well,
much.
I hear he's broke. I
Not
hear
enough.
he's fucking broke. He probably
We
blew
got a
through
lot
a
of
lot of
questions
money.
today. We need answers to.
We're never going to get answers.
Yeah, this is a very speculative show.
Yes,
No, because I'm
yes.
assuming he had other investors. So his part was, here's my $50 million, but he was expecting to turn that $50 million to hundreds of millions. Obviously,
I think he coughed up every penny he had.
He sold the sock for $92,000.
That's all he got for that?
Yep, that's
Good.
That's what it went for Austin.
Shithead.
It's a fucking sock.
How much is he worth
90
now?
Gs.
Is the question. Did he lose more than the $50 million investment, which is brutal, obviously?
I mean,
what was he left with?
He probably didn't have that much more at his peak. The most he ever made was in 2005. He made $14.5 million.
He made $114 million over his career.
Oh, okay,
Right.
that's a lot of fucking money, man.
That's just salary, though. Not not counting his endorsement deals.
But don't forget, you
He did
lose a
all
piece
right.
to agent and taxes and
Right.
you lose a good piece of that.
Right. And
I
then-
think he still has tens of millions of dollars left.
Let's say you lose half of that to agents, taxes.
Plus, he's bought a house. He's bought cars. He's bought all kinds of shit.
Right.
He has
of
4
course.
kids.
Quite a hat collection.
Look, he lost.
He invested $50 million of his own money. He lost all his baseball earnings.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. So he.
What
his
other
net-
earnings were there? Sorry, Sam. What other earnings were there besides baseball earnings?
I don't know, but I know that he put his sock up as bank collateral.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Sam.
His
Sam
net
found-
worth
Yeah.
right now is listed at $1 million,
And that's like,
which is probably just the minimum that the website has.
yeah.
Yeah, the website doesn't go lower because it's called Celebrity Net Worth.
Yeah, they're not going to have well, it's 40 grand.
And he's got 4 kids.
Oh my.
And that's how much
College
did he
for-
make? What did he make in his last year? Forgot to.
His last year he made $8 million. His peak year he made $14.5 million.
How much do you think those kids want to stab dummy for losing the investment?
Yeah, because they look like they're like high school age too. Like they definitely just need to go to college.
Hey, all you kids are playing these games, right? Oh, God.
All told, he made just under $115 million in baseball, and now he's left with nada.
What an idiot.
Well, $1 million is still sweet, but he obviously owes all sorts of money.
He
$1 million is
doesn't
sweet.
have $1 million
Yeah.
just sitting in his checking account.
Yeah, that's all. Unless he did it through a corporation where he's not personally liable.
I think he went all in.
He did.
Just said, fuck it. I don't want anyone else. This is my thing.
He's like, this is my baby. Watch this.
And if you're sending 4 kids to college, $1 million, if you're paying for their college.
Yeah, that's like $1 million
goes quick.
You might as well just take $50 million and go, red. At least he got a 50-50 shot. Well, a little less, but I mean, it's insanity. Take $50 million of your own money in something as speculative as video gaming.
I got a buddy who his uncle's a pit boss at a bunch of those crappy real small town Native American casinos, And apparently, the dirty secret of those places is that they average a suicide a week.
Really?
Yeah, because it's people who just fuck it, and they just bring the last, and
right.
they just put it on red. And then when it doesn't work, they hang themselves in the shower. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have nothing to live for if they don't win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, because it's small town shit, so it's I'm going to take it all, go to the little...
Yeah, here's my shot. I'm going to do it.
But
so, whenever I perform at those places, I always walk down the hallway in the hotel and go, there's a dead guy behind one of these doors.
One of these doors. Someone...
Yep.
But also, if it does come in, they're going to take that money and eventually try it again.
Oh,
they're going to blow it.
Right.
They're not going to go, this worked out great, I'm leaving now.
Yeah.
No way.
You never heard a tech billionaire go, well, it started when I put 10,000 on red.
Yeah.
And then I parlayed that to $1 billion. Never.
Speaking of which, how about this fucking New York City kid?
Yeah.
Sold Tumblr to
Yahoo.
Yahoo. I was ready to say Amazon. Yahoo. For
$1.1 billion.
Kidding me? 1.1 billion. High school dropout, but he was highly intelligent. He knew high school was not for him.
He was 26 or something.
He went to Japan and was fooling around there for a little while. Then he came back home and started tinkering around.
All you got to do is figure out.
Came up with Tumblr, and fast forward a few years, 1.1 billion.
Some internet.
It's an archetype of high school kid at this point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. It's
but
there's the nerd and the jock, and then there's the kid who drops out and fucking makes $1 billion in some internet bullshit.
But Yahoo's seeing something there because Tumblr only made 13 million last year. That was it.
Wow.
They're seeing.
They made $13 million in revenue last year. So I don't know what Yahoo's
Well, with the
big
Yahoo behind it, I'm sure it'll do nothing.
1.1
I don't know.
billion.
But they scoop up these little companies all the time.
I invented a photo program that went nowhere.
Yeah.
It's a way to print out your photo, and it makes a spin fan, the things that Japanese people use between their hands, so your picture's on a fan and it cools you.
I don't understand why that didn't get Schilling on the phone. See if he'll invest in it.
I got some money behind that one.
It bombed financially and in the auditory sense.
Jimmy.
Yeah, it didn't do well.
Yeah, you got. I don't know how people could do that. Take your entire life like that and just.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you could be speculative, but use risk capital. Only use your risk capital.
We should shut up.
Did you hear about that insane?
We before we move on, we were fortunate enough to get the call to buy some fucking options in Citadel Broadcasting.
Right. It was
you're looking at two guys that really thought they were going to be multi-millionaires.
It was the
off
IPO.
This fucking deal.
It was the IPO.
The IPO.
We were getting into.
The ground floor.
Your major shareholders and
there used to be a time where if someone gave you a call to be in on the IPO, it was a guarantee almost every time.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went in large. I went in 100 and what was the exact total? 107,000.
Holy shit!
That stock is now worth
$0.
Yeah,
really?
no joke. It went bankrupt.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Zero.
Oh dear.
Zero.
They're like $19 a share to get in. We're like, all right, $19 a share. And then the next day, when it traded, it went up to 22.
Something like that.
Like, oh, man.
See,
it's
here we
on
go.
Its way up.
Here we go. Now that 107,000 is worth about 140.
So if you got out of it 2 days in,
that was it.
Smart move, right?
That was it. It never saw the initial price ever again.
Oh shit!
It drastically dropped within a week, and we both had the same logic. This can't get that bad. It'll eventually go up.
It can't completely lose it. Oh, yes.
This thing ticked down day after day for years, and finally they declared bankruptcy. And then it got to a level where you're like, fuck, let it ride. I mean, what the fuck? I'm going to take 10 grand?
You don't happen to have a $100,000 bloody sock lying around, do you? No?
Brutal.
Here's the timeline. After an IPO of 2067 in August 2003.
All right, we got in at 19, so we barely made $1. We were up $1.67 a share at that point.
And a high of 22.70 in December of 2003.
22.70.
Citadel closed at 1 cent on March 6, 2009. Delisting happened.
Well, you had 5 months of growth there. Between August and December.
5 good solid months.
That leads you to believe.
But we saw all the other radio
Nothing.
companies. They were in the 40s and the 50s. So we're like, okay, we got in at 19.
They fucked
It's up
that
to
up
almost
so
$23. We got some room here.
And then it went down to
fucking
1 penny.
Went down
cocksucker.
to 1 fucking penny.
That fucking cock.
It makes me feel better. My parents invested a large amount of their savings into the double VCR.
No.
Yeah.
You would have thought that would have took. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of money they put into the double.
They do well there?
No. No, they lost a significant amount of money.
The double VCR, Norton.
Yeah.
We are going to be rich, my friend.
I think anytime you invest, like, I mean, how would you know with the thing you guys did? But like, anytime you invest in something like zany, like, it really, like the fucking video game, you know what I mean? It's a dumb.
Double VCR.
Yeah. It's too gimmicky.
That was like to dub one from to another.
That was the point.
It's fucking perfect. You rent something from Blockbuster, you fucking dub it out. Where could I get in on
I think
this?
it was like 6 months before DVDs came out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Another story, when the merger was going on, they gave us all like kind of a stock guy.
Right.
To do the actual, deal that we had, whatever. And then he's like, I could help you with some other things. This was my first dip into financial advisor territory.
Right.
And the guy sold me on a company that was coming up with a drug to cure breast cancer.
Oh, that one.
And he said this. You remember that one too, right?
I played that a couple of times.
You played. And he's like, this is coming in within the next year or two. I fucking believe this idiot. Bio something.
Biomira.
Biomira.
I made some money on that fucking thing, though.
Biomira. And he's like, and how he sold it, I'm like, well, fuck, here you go. When I pushed like a whole pile at him.
Oh, no.
And I lost bad with that one, too.
But there's like
And then
always
I finally
cancer. Why did you think that?
It's
like, there's a pill that's going to end racism. Fantastic. Let's throw in on that.
Biomira.
I'll fake that I took it and spit it out when the nurse leaves.
And check under your tongue to make sure you took your anti-racism.
That was
pill.
boiler room shit. And then finally I was like, what am I doing? Yeah. So I just got a boring Jew that keeps it real safe.
Oh, he needs that pill.
Right.
Oh, he does need the
pill that stops racism. I love that.
I lost.
I'm just thinking how funny that would be.
But now it's like, fuck those guys. Just keep it safe.
I lost all my money on an investment I believed in strongly.
Oh,
it's just
really?
Not
Was that, Jim?
It off.
Yeah.
Is it the stripper in the Poconos? I lost a lot on her.
This is a really good, I believe very strongly, it was called Melba water. Because we all love Melba toast, and we all love water. It tasted like Melba toast.
Well, Fitty made a lot of money with the vitamin water, right?
But this actually had crispy hunks of Melba toast
you're
in
thinking
it.
Melba water.
This had little hunks of toast in the water.
Toast in your water.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
And you could suck it down and get a nutritious meal and a delicious treat at the same time. Melba water.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I know.
I like the fucking around with E-Trade these days. You put money in an E-Trade account, and then you're just like, all right, well, Apple is announcing earnings, so I'll fucking spin the wheel and go like, maybe it'll be up, maybe it'll be down. Fucking fuck around with that. Yeah, you just screw around like that. Beats the horses. I got killed on the fucking stupid Preakness.
Oh, what the fuck happened to Orb?
Orb did nothing.
They basically said he can't lose. They spent 2 hours in the pre-show, whatever the fuck they call it, saying, this guy can't lose. This horse can't lose.
It was awful. Fucking the stupid horse. I had that horse. I had an exacta with Orb and any other horse.
Wow.
In the whole race could have won. So all it had to be was Orb had to win the race. There you go. And then I would have had like an exacta. And I put quite a few bucks on it. But no, the horse couldn't fucking do shit.
He didn't do
It's dangerous
shit.
when you could bet right from this now.
Oh, so you weren't even there.
Here's my casino.
God, no.
You didn't go to.
Here's my no. I just fucking twinspires.com. Yeah. I'm like, I'll bet this, I'll bet that, and then you just watch the race. And they're off. You can watch it on your phone. It's the sickest fucking thing. Yeah. Literally, it's very sick. They shouldn't do it. It's very dangerous. And then E-Trade's another thing. It's like, the market's open. Why don't I invest? It's not investing. You're betting. Yeah. You're not investing money if you're fucking betting on a company for a day.
All right, yeah, Schilling really is fucked.
Yep.
People that know way more than us.
Oh.
His company accepted a $75 million loan from Rhode Island to move his biz there, then went bankrupt.
Wow.
Schilling made personal guarantees on the loans. To get the loans, he used his own assets as collateral and made personal guarantees. That's Angry Mike 28 with that. And Zekit, I guess it is, on Twitter also.
Damn.
Yeah, so he's completely broke.
I bet there's some shenanigans
and his
going
career
on.
is over, obviously, so he can't just fucking say, fuck it, I'll pitch a few more.
Yeah, let me get some
money
money
back.
Right?
Oh,
I
he's
got to
fucked.
get back out there and fucking throw a few.
I don't like to give away where my money is going.
Oh,
but,
yes.
I will tell you about a company I believe very strongly in.
Yeah.
They make ceiling vacuums for your foyer.
What else for your foyer?
It's like a fan, an internal fan, like a your bathroom. In the bathroom you have something like and it sucks the smell out. This is much more powerful. It's about 1,000 times more powerful. So when you walk in the house, you don't have to take your hat off. it's just,
Your hat. It's also a hat remover.
That's all it is. When you walk in the house, you just flip the switch and it sucks your hat up to the ceiling.
All right, but how much does it cost? I mean, if it's reasonable.
It's very reasonable. It's $1,800 plus. It's about $2,200 to install.
And on your way out the door, you just shut the thing off, and the hat falls.
We haven't gotten that part perfected yet.
So for the whole time that you're in the house,
it would be stuck to the ceiling.
Just it's making like noise.
Yes, but what happens is it comes with a free hat top duster because there's a lot of dust that gets sucked up, so people complain that their hats were filthy, and their scarves got sucked up there, and child's toys and other things.
Yes, what about things that are light?
Yes,
You got to go
Hummels.
on.
Yes,
You got to go on Shark Tank with that.
Yeah,
I think the boys would love that
the
one.
foyer hat vacuum.
Right.
everything you have involves hats.
It's as it should.
It's a fun punchline.
Yes,
it's a good word.
Who doesn't love a good hat?
What's up with Biomirror? Do we have any info on
No,
this?
it has sex with man mirrors. Oh no! Get
This
it?
fucking thing was supposed to be my.
I have to piss.
Oh,
I gotta kind of
take a leaky, Jimmy. What? Yeah, I'd love to see what this stock's at. Ugh.
I'm out.
It's bankrupt.
Yeah, I think the company's closed.
Oh, what happened?
Yelp says it's closed.
How's that drug doing?
So that's another zero.
Wow,
That's another zero in my portfolio.
another zero.
Another donut for the Opester.
Yep.
Opster's got 2 zeros in his fucking portfolio.
You were talking about degenerate gambling.
Yeah.
Being in recovery as I am, I get asked to do these like conventions and stuff like that, you know. Mm-hmm. And I went. It doesn't happen to be my problem, but it's the same world. Like I got asked to do a Gamblers Anonymous one, you know. So I went. I met this dude. This is no bullshit. He had these fingers. Like he had his index and thumbs, and that is it on both. He's like a fucking crab person.
Man,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
the lobster people.
Because bookies took the other three.
His fucking
They took 6 of his fucking fingers, and they left him with the card-playing fingers.
to pay his debt off.
Yeah, and it's like, as an addict, I completely understand losing all 3 on the one hand. Like, I get that you have, like, a pincer on the one. And then I can even get how you'd lose the pinky on the other one, because it's like, all right, like, I think things are going to turn around for me. But then once you lose, like, this one, like the ring finger,
yeah.
then like you don't see a pattern. By that time, like he still gambled away the middle finger on his other hand. He really thought he might fucking pull it off with that one, and so he was just left like a little crab man.
I can imagine the one pinky. You'd be like, you'd have to really sit and assess your life as like, wow. Because of gambling, they took my finger like a fucking movie.
Yeah.
That's it. It's got to stop.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, the pinky, like, I think you could, if you're an addict, like, I think you can justify away that one. You're like, nobody even uses that one anyway.
It's useless.
Was it 6 incidents or was it 1?
I suspect it was 6 separate incidents.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
6 separate times.
Yeah. Because, like, and then what's left? Like, they're going to take his thumbs. Like, that's the only thing that fucking separates from animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like he would have been, like, this is what keeps
Wait, how
us
far
from
down
being
do they take
monkeys.
the finger, though?
Like, all the way. Like, he had no finger.
God.
So he just had, like, this, like, weird, like,
right.
That was
On
with
both
his
hands.
hand. Yeah. So.
Wow, that's really committing yourself to the
yeah, it was impressive.
problem. Yeah. Wow. No, I like playing some cards and stuff. But I couldn't imagine getting in that much trouble.
Yeah,
Even
that's a lot of,
broke.
like, I mean, you even...
Yeah. I played a few poker games, you throw in some money, a few $100. Yeah.
Did you ever see Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald? There's a great... Chevy Chase is the doctor, and he has, like, a horrible gambling problem, and he keeps coming in, like, every time you see him on screen, he's, like, way more fucked up than he was the last time, because, like, bookies have, and he comes in, he's got, like, his arm in a sling and whatever, and he's like, this is my favorite line, he goes, like, here's the thing I don't understand, you owe a bookie money, he takes your toe, you still have to give him the money. Like, I love that part. Like, as though the logic would be, like, they'll just settle for your finger.
Right,
you know what I mean?
settle up.
Like, yeah.
That should be a wash,
My finger's worth that much. No, you still owe the money? And the juice is still running? What the fuck?
Fuck that.
Yeah, I met a dude with 7 DUIs at one of those once. That's pretty impressive.
That's another thing. It's, obviously you have a problem, not the drinking, but you can't drive when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Some people are good at it, some aren't.
Right.
They're talking about lowering it to 0.05, the blood alcohol level, which is, you can absolutely drive on 0.05.
Do you really believe, though, that some people are good at it and some are not? Like, or you just think that those people are lucky? Like,
there's an element of luck, but there's an element of luck, just driving any day.
Right.
But I got to tell you, I did a great job. I could drive drunk pretty fucking safely. I drive like a lunatic when I'm not drinking. Because I know it's just, all right, I'll get pulled over. I'll fucking yap a little to the cop, maybe get a ticket, and that's it. It's not this, oh, my God, life-changing moment of getting a DUI where there's months of legal fees and lawyers and all that shit. So when I would be drinking, I would fucking 10 and 2 it. Middle lane, cruise control. And fucking concentrate, pay attention.
That's not a good argument, though, because I'm a fucking maniac otherwise. Is not a good argument. Like, they would say, well, the way you drive when you're drunk, you should be driving that way sober, too.
Well, yeah. And I do.
Well, but and you can't use it as, like, if the cop pulls you over, you can't be like, you should see how I drive sober. Like,
yeah, exactly. You should see, I'm doing a great job here.
If you think this is bad with that little 7-year-old leg in my grill, you ought to see me sober.
I never got a DUI or, I don't even think I ever got pulled over when I was drunk.
Well, I did. I got out of 5 of them. And I finally got the 6th one.
Just swing that. You shoot the cop.
Getting out of him?
I blasted him and through the window.
No, it was like in tiny towns. You just tell them you're the comic in town, and they think it's interesting or whatever. Like that kind of thing. Like,
tell me a joke.
Yeah, that kind of happens. That kind of shit. So I literally and I did the sobriety test sometimes, and I really thought I was good at it. Like, that's the bullshit logic of it. And because one time I actually I completely blackout drunk drove across 4 states, and I have no recollection of doing it.
Wow, that's
from Kentucky to Iowa, and I just remember at 3 a.m. in Kentucky going I remember like that night going to the club going, don't drink, because I had a 10-hour drive the next day. Oof. So I was like, if I fuck around, I'm not going to make it. And then at 3 a.m, I remember being drunk, and that's it. That's all I remember.
Take consolation in the fact that while you were driving, you knew what you were doing.
Well, that's the crazy. I have no. It's like I'm like Meatloaf. Crazy. I have no. So what happened is I wake up at 5 o'clock the next day in the hotel, and I'm like, I'm totally fucked. Like, I've missed the show. Like I hadn't missed the show yet, but it's a 10-hour drive. Like, mathematically, this is impossible. I'm not gonna make it. So I just start running around the room to get my shit together. I don't know what to. And my bag's already packed, which is weird. So I grab, and I'm like, I must have packed my bag when I was drunk. And as I'm walking around the room, I'm like, this isn't the same hotel room that I've been staying in for the last couple of days.
Fuck.
And I did an entire drive, which means I left after 3 a.m. So that means I drove through a rush hour somewhere, and I stopped to get gas at some point, and I checked into a hotel.
Don't remember any of it.
No, it was like time traveling. I have no recollection of any of that trip, and I just got there, and I checked in the parking lot. My car was kind of like a little askew in the space, but... and so I went out to make sure there wasn't a fucking, pink bicycle under my car or whatever. And everything seems fine. I never got any feedback negatively from that. So I was like, but the irony is that people ask me so that's obviously when you stop drinking. And it's like, no, not that told me I'm a fucking excellent drunk driver.
I rule.
It led me to believe I could totally get away with it. Yeah.
What did make you stop?
The DUI that I got in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You couldn't get out of it?
No, and you know what? I was so, apparently, it's in the police report. I thanked the cop for arresting me at the time, because, I needed to have somebody, Because, like, I'd gotten to the point where it was like DUIs aren't even going to stop me because I can get out of them, you know?
Wow.
And so, like, I finally, when I did get the guy, I, like, thank it. So I call him every year on my anniversary and thank him for
really?
me. Yeah.
So, right. You're with these phone calls.
Is he cool to you, though, when you call him?
He was really weird about it for the first couple of years because he's like kind of an awkward guy. But you know, I think that nobody really ever does. Like, I bet you the DUIs do get people sober, like, not just me. And I bet you, like, nobody ever really does say, like,
how many
hey,
years
that's actually, thanks for doing it. It'll be 8 in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. That's great, man.
Yeah. So
when he pulled you over, did you know you were fucked up? Did you try the comic thing, or what did you try?
Oh, yeah. Well, I would see, the weird thing is, like, I remember seeing those cops in a gas station. Like, I pulled in to get food because I knew I was wasted, so I was like, I better get something in me. And as soon as I walked into the convenience store, I remember seeing those two guys and going, like, be cool.
And they probably saw you.
Yeah. And I thought I was, like, playing it off. But I guess they then, like, started following me because they're like, that guy's shit-faced. So they just followed me for, you know, they took them, I think it's like 18 miles from that gas station. So they followed me for a while. Wow. They were state troopers.
And then would you skate over the line a little? Or?
No, they got me for, I guess they couldn't get me for anything. They needed probable cause. And I really applaud them for this. It might be, but I flicked a cigarette out the window, so they got me for littering.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
They wanted something.